Stephen A., is this legit, and is this the best fit for him?
Well, first of all, it may very well be the best fit for him, number one. I mean, obviously, when you talk to people close to him and others who are not, so many people believe that he ultimately will stay in Cleveland. That's basically the consensus now by about 70%. There's that 25 to 30% out there that thinks he will move on. But it's no longer L.A. You don't hear that anymore. You hear Houston. And I've said this weeks ago. I said it more than a month ago. I said it about 2 weeks ago. I'm going to say it again. If LeBron James were to go to Houston, in James Harden, he would have the best player he's ever played with. Remember when he went to play with Dwayne Wade, as great and phenomenal as Dwayne Wade was, injuries derailed Dwayne Wade to a large degree. Even when he could play, and even when they won the back-to-back championships, Dwayne Wade was never 100% while all of that stuff was taking place. James Harden is arguably the leading candidate for league MVP right now. He's been nothing short of sensational. Chris Paul, which is not only one of LeBron James' best friends, but also a godfather to his children. This is a guy that's on the squad now in Houston. By the way, he hasn't re-upped with a mega long-term deal, so you've got that space to address as well. And you look at it from the perspective of their squad. If you got CP3 and you got James Harden, and you look at some of the other complementary pieces around there, you add LeBron James to that squad. They're already title contenders to begin with. We just know that they're not better than Golden State. But with LeBron in that squad, he changes everything. And so when you look at it from that perspective, having a great friend, having a superstar as a teammate who you already won a gold medal with, being in a no state income tax state in Houston, in the state of Texas, in Houston, you take all of those things into consideration. Not that that's going to matter, but so much to LeBron James, but you just never know. Again, Cleveland is the team that's obviously in the lead. Everybody says that he'll probably stay. But if he's going to legitimately entertain leaving, it wouldn't be somebody like Philly before it's somebody like Houston.
Max?
Yep, got it. I mean, I think that that Stephen A. reports that it could be a place like Houston. That's real. In terms of the best fit, guys, think about this for a second. Kevin Durant joined the Golden State Warriors, a 73-win team, and put them over the top. As I've said many times, and we'll see if this is still true next year because it gets less and less likely. The cliff is coming for LeBron, too, although in the NBA it's more like a decline down a slope than a falling off a cliff generally, as it is for quarterbacks. But LeBron James is so much better than everyone, and that includes Kevin Durant. And he would join a team, Stephen A., you point out his best friend Chris Paul is on the team, right? But not only that, a team for the first time in a long time, or ever really, that LeBron joins a squad that's a cohesive unit already. It already functions at a very high level. In fact, you look until the playoffs, and the Rockets have consistently been either the second or third best team in the West. And this season, you'd say, probably because of Kawhi's injury, the second best team in the West, maybe the third because of Oklahoma City. At least that was my thought. But now it's pretty clear that it's the second. Well, you're going to take a team that's the second best in the West that we already agree has a puncher's chance against Golden State because of the number of threes they shoot. And you're going to add the best player in the game by far. Do they have a chance to beat the Warriors? Yup. Is it therefore the best fit for LeBron? Guys, I think so. If the idea is to unseat the Warriors, that is probably the team that LeBron can go to, short of the San Antonio Spurs. That is the best fit. He, playing with his friend, playing on a team that shoots a million threes. LeBron can facilitate all that. He can help on defense. He can help when it counts. He can help in a million ways. And the biggest thing is he is the biggest value you can add to a team closest to the Warriors. So in that sense, yeah, I would say so.
You know, you can't listen. You just can't ignore the greatness of James Harden. James Harden right now is just sensational. I mean, he's a scoring machine. He's unstoppable. There's nothing that you can do with him. And he's a marksman, and he's an expert at, collecting fouls and getting to the free throw line. He can do what he wants, when he wants, how he wants on the offensive side of the ball when he's not fatigued. And the fact that Chris Paul is going there, all of this noise about Chris Paul, Max, Are we done talking and questioning this kid's greatness? I mean, they're undefeated with him as a Houston Rocket. They've won 10 straight. They're 11-0 in the games he's played this year. They're 10-0 since he's returned. By the way, he's the quintessential facilitator and floor general and orchestrator. He knows where to place everybody. He knows how to dictate pace, calm dudes down, have them running the offense with fluidity. And on top of that, they're not just top 5 in offense, they're top 5 in defense. This is with Chris Paul, who also takes pressure off of James Harden. Now, full confession, I spoke to Chris Paul recently, Max. The brother's ecstatic, just having an absolute ball. There's work to do. They've got work to be done. But this dude couldn't be happier in Houston. I've been speaking to him for years, and I'm telling you, I've never heard him this happy playing basketball.
When guys buy
absolute ball.
Stephen A., I have one question for you. So if they got him, would this put him above the Warriors in the West, Houston?
Well, let's talk this next year. I would tell you it would put him right there. It's not going to happen this season, so there's no reason even entertaining that. I definitely think it will put them right on par with them. It remains to be seen what happens. Let's see if Chris Paul can stay healthy. Let's see if D'Antoni doesn't get in the way with lapses defensively. So far, that hasn't been the case. Daryl Morey has been doing an outstanding job as the executive. They were right to keep the franchise in James Harden's hands, who's just an MVP candidate and a superstar. We can't stop fighting. We got to stop fighting this. This brother's on another level. And if LeBron James was to join him, it would be something special. But in fairness to LeBron, I've consistently heard that Cleveland is likely where he will stay. If he decides to leave, I can't imagine that there's a better spot than Houston if CP3 and James Harden is there. And the CP3 that I'm talking to, Max, I've never heard CP3 this happy. The only time I heard him this happy is with the LA Sunshine. But he's ecstatic playing basketball.
I'm glad
in
to
Houston.
hear it
No doubt about it.